Right. So where we left is here because of time, okay? This thing, it limits. It needs subscription. It needs something like the subscription, but it's fine. It's a matter of time. We'll get there. So, okay. So, where's that thing? Oh. All right. So now we left at 3.7. We're supposed to complete 3.7. Now 3.7, it said to us, determine the area of triangle ABD. I drew a line here to show this. It's a triangle that they are actually talking about, okay? So now we're going to have to determine AD first. But remember, we have already determined the equation of AB. Remember, the equation of AB was, my God, if I remember it, negative. No, this one is root of AB. The equation of AB was y is equals to root 3 multiplied by x plus 3. And therefore, we have already determined the equation of CD. We said that the equation of CD was equals to negative 3 over 2x plus 3. I remember that was CD. And therefore, we said the value of t in this case, the value of t in this case was equals to 6, if I remember. Right. Because you're going to need those things. So now, we're going to determine the magnitude of AB first. Okay, we're going to determine the magnitude of AB. So how are we going to do that? We're going to use distance formula. But firstly, we need to know the coordinate of A. So now we're going to say line AB, which was given to be y is equals to root 3 times x plus 3. It passes through point A, whereby the coordinates of A, it's x is to 0. Remember, A, it is the x-intercept. We do not know the value of x, but we know the value of y is 0 because it's x-intercept. And therefore, we're going to substitute our y to be 0 is equals to root 3 multiplied by x plus 3. And therefore, we transpose negative root 3 times x to the other side of the equation. We left with positive 3. And therefore, we divide both sides. Just go to your calculator. It will rationalize itself. We're going to say 3 divided by negative root 3. We get that our answer is negative root 3. We get that our value of x here, is negative root 3 when you punch it on your calculator. Now, the value, meaning the coordinates of A in this case is going to be negative root 3 is to 0. Now, let's have a look at the coordinates of B. Do we know the coordinates of D? No, we don't know the coordinates of D. Remember why I batla coordinates of A, guys? So that I can determine this length, so that I can determine length AB. Remember, I batla area of triangle ABD. Don't get lost. So hence why I was determining the coordinates of A, so that I can determine AB. Now I want to determine AD. That means I have to talk about the coordinates of D. Are not given also. That means I have to determine them. So I'm going to determine the coordinates of D. Remember, I have this equation, which is CD. Equation CD passes through point D. So that means the equation of CD was given to be that. So what am I going to do to determine D? D is also y-intercept. So I'm going to say line CD, which is given by y is equals to negative 3 over 2 multiplied by x plus 3. This line, it passes through point D. It passes through point D, whereby x, it is unknown, but y in this case is equals to 0. Since well D, it is also x-intercept. Therefore, my y here is going to be 0 is equals to negative 3 over 2x plus 3. And if I transpose negative 3 over 2x, it becomes positive 3 over 2x, which is equals to positive 3. I multiply both sides by 2 over 3. When I multiply both sides by 2 over 3, this becomes 1x, and therefore here 3 cancel 3. That means my x in this case, my x in this case will be equals to 2. So that means x at this point is 2. Therefore, that means the coordinates of D in this case is going to be 2 is to 0. Now I know coordinates of D. I can determine AD. I know coordinates of A. I can also determine AB. So now how I'm going to do the distance formula quickly. So you're just going to say A B squared is equals to x of A in this case is equals to how much? X of A, let's go. X of A we said is negative root 3. That means we have negative root 3 minus x of B. X of B in this case is positive root 3. Is positive root 3 to the power of 2 plus y of A. What is y of A? Y of A is 0, and therefore subtract y of B. What is y of B? Y of B is positive 6. Remember, you have already determined it at 3.6. It's positive 6. That means you substitute positive 6a to the power of 2. And therefore, what is the magnitude of AB squared? The magnitude of AB squared, in this case, you're going to say on your calculator, negative root 3 minus root 3 to the power of 2. In this case, we get it's 12. So that means it's 12. 12 plus 0 minus 6, it's 6. 6 to the power of 2 is 36. We're just going to add 36 there. That means here we're going to have a total of 48. And therefore, we are not looking for AB squared, but we are looking for AB. That means in this case, we're going to take root sign of 48. We're going to take root of 48. When we punch it on our calculator, we get that it's 4 root 3. That will be the magnitude of AB. The magnitude of AB is 4 root 3 units. Okay, units. Now let's determine the magnitude of AD. To determine the magnitude of AD, we're going to say AD squared is equals to, sorry about that, AD squared is equals to, what is the x of A? X of A we said is negative root 3 minus x of D. What is x of D? X of D, it's here, it's positive 2 minus 2 to the power of 2 plus y of A. Y of A in this case is equals to how much? Is equals to 0. Y of D also is equals to 0 to the power of 2. Therefore, what is this to the power of 2? We're going to say negative root 3 minus 2 to the power of 2 is going to be 7 plus, let me write it in that way, in a set form. So this 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 to the power of 2 is still 0. So we're not going to use this. So that means here we have 7 plus 4 root 3 units. Okay, units. So that means get this side, which is 7 plus 4 root 3. Okay, and now we have already determined the magnitude of angle beta in the previous questions. Beta in this case, remember, beta was equals to, if I remember, it's 60 degrees, right? Yes, it was 60 degrees. Therefore, we use area rule to determine area of this bigger triangle. So I'll just continue here. Okay, so that means to determine the magnitude of area of, we want area of triangle A B D is equals to half. We're gonna use AD, sorry, AB, yes, multiply by an AD sine beta. Okay, and therefore let's substitute then. So we're gonna have half. Okay, let me write it here. I'm not going to have enough space there. We have half. Therefore, what is AB in this case? AB, it's 4 root 3. AB, it's 4 root 3 multiplied by AD. AD in this case, it's 7 plus 4 root 3 multiplied by sine beta, which is 60 degrees. And therefore, what will be our final answer? We're just going to say half multiplied by 4 root 3, close bracket, open bracket, 7 plus 4 root 3. No, I just punched 1, 7, not 1. And therefore, I close my bracket. And therefore, we're going to round our final answer into 2 decimal places. So our final answer here, we get it, it's Where is it? Here is it. Our final answer here is 48,25 units squared. Okay, units squared. It's 48,25 units squared. Therefore, that will be area of triangle 3.7. Guys, even if there is another way or another approach to determine this, you can also use it. But this one, I find it much more easier and understandable. So it does not matter or you write how long. What I know in analytical geometry, you will sweat for 5 marks. You will write longer things for 5 marks. So now, let me ask. So that I'm done with question number 3. So Khuluko and Vanessa, please open up your mics. All right. So how well do you understand this question now? Vanessa, let's start with you. They normally say ladies first. All right, now, so now let us do question number 4. So now question number 4, it reads as follows. Question number 4, it says to us, the diagram below, sir, please, oh my God, sir, please close your camera there. Please close your camera, please.
Oh.
All right, so question number 4. The diagram below shows triangle ABC with angle B is equals to 90 degrees. And the coordinates of B1 is to 3A and the C lie on the line X is equals to 3. The length of AB is 2√5 units and the length of AC is 5 units. Everything it is provided there. So now 4.1, it says to us, okay, before we can go to the questions, let us talk about this. Now A and C, they have the same X value. That's very important because they pass through line, which is parallel to, you see this line, it is parallel to y-axis. That means it is a straight line. Therefore, the X value of A and the X value of C, they are the same. If I were asked to determine the coordinates of A, I'm going to say, what I know about A is that X here is positive 3, but I don't know the value of Y of A, as well as about C, X of C is positive 3, but I don't know the Y value of C, okay? And therefore, what is also provided, it is that we are told that angle B is 90 degrees. Like I said, in mathematics, you don't assume unless if you were told. If I were asked you to determine the area of this triangle, you're going to use half base multiplied by height. And therefore, we are given the coordinates of B, they are completely given except A and C. And therefore, they say the length of AD is equals to 2√5. Length of AD, where is AB? Here is AB is equals to 2√5. Mr. Gwenda, please, your mic. And therefore, the length of AC in this case is equals to 5 units. Okay, it's 5 units, right? So now determine the coordinates of A. They want us to determine the coordinates of A. But now how are we going to do that for 4 marks? That's a lot. Now this is what is happening. Let's talk about side or length AB. Length AB, it is provided to be 2√5. We know the X value of A, but we don't know the Y value of A. We know the complete coordinate for B, X and Y is 1:3. That means we're going to use distance formula. So to solve this question, which is 4.1, we're going to use distance formula, which says AB squared is equals to X of A minus X of B squared plus Y of A minus Y of B squared. This is the formula. So what is the distance of AB? It is given or provided to be 2√5, right? 2√5 to the power of 2 is equals to X of A is positive 3. X of B is positive 1 to the power of 2 plus what is Y of A? It is not given. That's what we are basically looking for. It's just Y of A. Subtract what is Y of B? Y of B is positive 3. This negative comes with the formula to the power of 2. And therefore, when you punch this on our calculator, this is going to be 4. This is going to be 5. 4 multiplied by 5, it's 20. That means here we're going to have 20 to the power of 2, which is to the power of 2. This to the power of 2 is 20. And therefore, 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 to the power of 2 is going to be 4. And therefore here, we're going to expand it. Remember, we're going to say y to the power of 2. Y multiplied by -3 is -3y. -3y multiplied by 2 is -6y. And therefore -3 to the power of 2 is +9. And therefore now, let's continue with our work. Here's 4, remember that. And therefore we're going to say, here we have 0, you have y squared minus 6y. And therefore we're going to say, what is 4 plus 9, which is 13? We transpose 20 to the other side of the equation. We get over here, it's -7. Okay, now let us try to factorize this equation algebraically. Therefore, factors of y squared, it's y and y. Factor of 7, most definitely 7 and 1. And therefore, when you add them, subtract them, they give you 6. The bigger number will take the negative sign, and then the smaller number will just take that one. Therefore, that means y of a could be +7 or y of a could be -1. In this case, our a, it is located in first quadrant, whereby all y values are positive. So that means this may not be the value of a in this case. Therefore, what is the value of a? That means the value of a will be 7. Now, let's say a may never be equals to -1 since this is on first quadrant. Therefore, we want to determine the coordinates of a. We're going to say, therefore, the coordinates of a in this case, it is 3 is to +7. That's how we do question number 4.1. Okay. Right. That's how we solve 4.1. So now we have already determined here, we have 3 is to 6. Oh, 7 is to 7. 7. So now they want us to determine coordinates of C. This is simple because it's 2 marks. Let me be honest with you guys. This is simple, okay? From here to here, it is 7 units. From here to here, it is literally 7 units. So from here to here, it is 1 unit. Okay, let me show you. Let me draw a line which cuts here. From here to here, it is 1 unit. From here to here, it is 6 units. From here to here, it is 7 units. For a factor here, it's 1. It's 1 unit, sorry, it's not 1. So that means it's 3. It's 3. I get y. The y value here is 3, which is this. The y value here, it is 7. That means here we have 7, and then here we have 3. So that means from here to here, like I said, it is 1 unit. That means it's supposed to be 2. That means the coordinates of C is going to be 3 is to 2. But I know this is hard for you to understand. So there is a simpler way to do it, but just that you're going to have to calculate it, okay? You can also determine the coordinates of C in this way because it's just only 2 marks. That's how you can determine the coordinates of C. But now another way to do it is this way. It is in this way. When you go back to this diagram, which is I have just drawn, now we managed to, you can just do this. I agree. Where is it? Okay, coordinates of this one is 7 is to that. So now what we can do is, which is a longer version of this, okay, you can determine I get we are giving here, okay, this is 5. I get where is it? I want this ACS. I get we're told that AC is 5 units. You can also use the distance formula the way we did to determine coordinates of C, but because this is 1 and this one are the same, this is 2 marks, I said you can use this approach. But if you feel like this is difficult, do it, it's fine. So you're gonna say 4.2 to determine it. Remember here it's 5 units. I get AC was given. So you're gonna use distance formula, you're gonna say AC squared is equals to x of A minus x of C to the power of 2 plus y of A minus y of C to the power of 2. Therefore, what is the magnitude of AC? It's given to be 5 to the power of 2. X of A in this case is equals to 3. Subtract x of C, it's equals to 3 as well to the power of 2 plus y of A in this case is +7. Then y of C is what we are basically looking for. Y of C is what we are looking for. So here we're gonna have 25, and then here we're gonna have 0 to the power of 0, and therefore let's expand this. Or you can just say we have 7 minus y to the power of 2, and therefore we take root sign on both sides. Remember, you do plus or minus because your y value could be positive or negative. And therefore here we have 5, and then here we have 7 minus y. We transpose 7 on the other side of the equation. We're going to have 5 minus 7 is equals to negative y, and therefore 5 minus 7 is negative 2, negative y. Therefore, y is going to be positive 2. Then we can conclude that the coordinates of C in this case is going to be 3 is to positive 2. Okay, we can also do it in this way. So, but for a factor against a plus or minus, we're not going to deal with a negative, because if we deal with negative, we're going to get answer which is negative. So I'll just choose positive number. Be careful there. I didn't include, I saw that, but be careful when dealing with some things like this. Okay, so that means in this case, the value of C, the value of y, the y value of C is positive 2, or you can just do that approach. It's called an inspection to know from here to here it's 1 unit, and therefore that means it's supposed to be 2, because from 2 to 3 I just moved 1 unit upwards. Okay, but this is also welcome to do because it's simple. It's a simpler way, even though it worth 2 marks. Do you all understand? Do we, students, learners, do we all understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah,
All right. So that means why is this thing is a movie? Okay. That means we're gonna move to show that we're gonna do what? 4.3. Show that the midpoint of AC is given to be this. Midpoint of AC, I would assume the midpoint is here. This is very simple because we know the coordinates of A, it's 3 is to 7. We know the coordinates of C is 3 is to 2. So we want the midpoint of this one. I'll just call it point M. So that means we want X of M. We also want the Y of M to say we found the coordinates of the midpoint. So in this case, to answer question number 4.3, just going to be quick on this one. So that means we're going to say midpoint of that one, which is the coordinates of M. X of M is to Y of M is equals to huge bracket X of A plus X of C divided by 2 is to Y of A plus Y of C divided by 2 and huge bracket. Therefore, I'm going to equate x's to x's. That means X of M will be equals to how much? What is X of A? X of A is positive 3. What is X of C? X of C in this case is also positive 3 divided by 2. And then I will equate Y to Y's. So that means YM, which is this, will be equals to Y of A. Now, what is Y of A? It's positive 7. What is Y of C? Y of C in this case is also positive, but which is 2 divided by 2. And therefore, 3 plus 3 is 6 divided by 2, we get 3. Vele, that's what we expected X of M to be. We expected X of M to be 3 because it is along this line. And therefore, what is Y of M? We're going to say 7 plus 2 in this case, which is, I think is 9. 7, 8, 9 is 9, right? Yes, it's 9. So what is 9 divided by 2? It's 9 divided by 2. That means here we're going to have 9 divided by 2. But they wanted us to determine, to show the midpoint of AC is equals to that. So remember, 9 over 2 also is the same as 4,5. And therefore, we're going to say, oh my God, we have 9 minutes left. And therefore, we're going to say coordinates of M, which is the midpoint, is going to be 3 is to 4,5. We just showed, okay, these are the coordinates of the midpoint, okay? That will be number 4.3. And therefore, I move to 4.4. Now, 4.4, it says to us, determine the coordinates of D, A is to B, so such that, okay, yes, Kholwane.
That's a 4.3 hore re behe ho ntho ho comma 4.5. Is it a must ya hore re behe mo?
Yeah, because I get it, they wanted you to show it in this way. They wanted you to show it in 4,5. So I think it's advisable to leave it, yeah, to show it 4,5, not just 9 over 2.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Right. Then we move to question number 4.4. So 4.4, it says to us, determine the coordinates of D. Okay, D is not there. D, which is A is to B, such that A, B, C, D is a parallelogram. A, B, C, for it to be parallelogram, D can be here, D can be here. Obvious, D is supposed to be somewhere else here. I'm sorry about that. D is supposed to be somewhere else here. I don't know, but here, maybe somewhere else here. So that this form a parallelogram, okay? So that this can be a parallelogram. So that means this will be D, which is given to be A is to B, all right? So they want us to determine the coordinates of, for 3 marks, they want us to determine the coordinates of D. Now, this is what is happening. I said to you from the start, when we started with the first video, I said to you, know the properties of your quadrilaterals, okay? One of the properties of quadrilaterals is that the diagonals of parallelogram, they intersect at the common point, they intersect at the midpoint, they bisect, okay? So that means this midpoint that you have just determined in 4.4, it is the same as the midpoint of this diagonal BD. You understand? So that means in order for us to determine the coordinates of D, we're going to have to use midpoint formula to determine. We know the points of B, we know the points of midpoint, which is what we have just determined above. Actually, it's this one. They are also given, basically. That's why they ask you this question and this question after, because they know you're going to need this. If you got this wrong in 4.3, does that mean 4.4 you're going to get it wrong? No. So that means, how are you going to determine the coordinates of D? It's simple. Use midpoint once more again for 3 marks. So that means in this case, our midpoint, which is x of m. X of m is 3, y of m is 9/2, or you can just say it's 4,5, is equals to huge bracket. Therefore, x of b, in this case, plus x of d divided by 2 is to y of b plus y of d divided by 2 and the huge bracket. Therefore, I equate x's to x's. So that means x is equals to y of b, x of b in this case is equals to how much? It's 1. X of d is what I'm looking for. It's a, basically, divided by 2. And therefore, I equate the y's to y's. So that means I have 4,5 is equals to y to y's. Y of b in this case is positive 3. It's positive 3. And therefore, x of d is what I'm looking for, which is b. I substitute b there, divide by 2. Let's start this side. Therefore, we cross multiply. This multiply by that, it's 1 plus a. 3 multiplied by 2, most definitely is going to be 6. And therefore, a in this case, I transpose 1 to the other side of the equation. A is going to be 5. And therefore, on this side, 4 over 4,5, I cross multiply. I have 3 plus b is equals to 4,5 multiplied by 2 in this case is going to be 9. Okay, it's going to be 9. And therefore, I transpose 3 to the other side of the equation, which is going to be 6, right? 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's going to be 6. Therefore, b in this case is going to be positive 6. But the question said to us, determine the coordinates of a, which is of d, which is a is to b. Therefore, we conclude, because they said coordinates, they didn't say determine a and b, they say coordinates of d. So that means you're going to say it's 5 is to 6, because this is x and that is y. Therefore, that's how we solve this question. We have 5 minutes left. Okay, so that's how we solve 4.4. I hope you all understand. Now, 4.5 for 2 marks. I don't have enough space here. So 4.5, oh, this is simple. 4.5, let's read it. They say to us, A, B, C, D is reflected in line y is equals to 5 and moved 3 units down to form these images, image A, image B, image C, as well as image D. But they want you to write down the coordinates of B. Forget about A, C, and D. Let's only focus on B. Now, this is what is happening. Here we are talking about the reflection. This is a transformation. Now, that means we're talking about the mirror of this shape, of this parallelogram. Now, here, it's x is equals to 3. X is equals to 4. If I have to extrapolate or extend this Cartesian plane, oh my goodness. Okay, but no, it's fine. So here I'll just say this is x is equals to 5. This line over here, I'll call it x is equals to 5. So that means this is supposed to be a reflection on this side. okay, supposed to be its reflection on this side. This is the reflection about this line, which is x is equals to 5. So now here they say to us, ABC is reflected in the line y is equals to 5, meaning this shape is reflected, meaning it sees itself as a mirror on this side about this line. Now, and this is going to move 3 units downwards. So this shape is going to move 3 units downwards, 1, 2, 3. That means it's going to be somewhere else here as it moves 3 units downwards. You see? And then they say to us, write down the coordinates of B image. So here we have what? Here we have D image. Here we have A image. And then here we have a B image. And then here we have C image. That means B image, it's here. Right. So that means we're going to ask ourselves, so how many units did we move from this position to that position? How many units did we move from here to here? From 1 to 5, we moved 4 units. That means from 5 to image B, we're supposed to move 4 units once more again. So that means how many units did we move from 4 to 5? Sheba, you're going to say 6. You count 4 times using your fingers. From 5, it's 6, 7, 8, 9. That means this is 4 units. You start from 6. From 5 to 6, it's 1 unit. From 6 to 7, it's second unit. From 7 to 8, it's third unit. From 8 to 9, it's your fourth unit. That means the value of x here is going to be 9. And therefore, that means for B image, the value of x is going to be 9. And therefore, what will be the value of y? Remember, again, we're going to move 3 units downwards, meaning from positive 3 to 3 units downwards, it's going to be 0, obvious. It's going to be 3 minus 3, because when you move from here, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 to 0. That means your B in this case, it's going to be 0. And therefore, that's how we solve 4.5. That's why it's only 2 marks. Any question regarding this? And then for the day, we're done. So any question regarding this? Kolo, Vanessa? You understand it?
Yeah.
Okay. Vanessa? Yeah?
Right.
All right. Okay, so guys, there is also a recording of these things, okay? There is also a recording of these things, but they will talk in a group. And then, how was the lesson? Let me just stop recording. How was the lesson?
Great, sir.